Ready now? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Amanda and today I want to go over my wisdom teeth removal experience. It has been 2 full weeks since I have gotten my wisdom teeth extracted, so I wanted to go over some things that I did and hopefully provide you with some advice if you have to get your wisdom teeth removed as well. So let's begin. Basically got tired of my wisdom teeth, or just one wisdom tooth in particular, getting really annoying and like hurting sometimes, and it just felt like my wisdom teeth were growing out and pushing my teeth. I don't know if they really were, but to me in my head it just felt like my teeth were getting squished and pushed. So I decided to just kind of book the soonest appointment I could without really thinking about it. So my tip for you would be to plan better. I planned it a week before a vacation, which was not the best idea, but I just wasn't thinking and I didn't realize that I was going on vacation so soon. So I would definitely plan in advance, maybe not plan it right before you leave to go on a trip. I also booked like the earliest appointment they had available. So I booked a late afternoon on a Thursday. At first I thought I had made a good decision booking on a Thursday afternoon because I could work the full day on Thursday and then just take Friday off to recover, and then I would have 2 days on the weekend and then I should be good to go. I would definitely recommend booking an appointment to get this done earlier in the day. I still recommend Thursday because then you get, if you take off Thursday and Friday, you still get the weekend to recover without taking extra days off. But I also feel like if you do it early in the day, then you have a lot more time to ice your face throughout the rest of the day after the procedure. Whereas when I did it at the end of the day, I only had about 3 to 4 hours before I went to bed. So I only iced for about like 3 hours before going to sleep. And so I think it increased the amount of swelling I had later on because I didn't ice initially for hours. Definitely that's one of my tips. I also booked a consultation the same time as the surgery. So I went in expecting to get the consultation and then get the surgery done. Usually people go in for the consultation first and then do the surgery another day. I was okay with my decision, but I feel like it's probably got its benefits to do the consultation beforehand because then you know what to expect and you can go over like the type of anesthesia or anything like that that you need and what to expect with the recovery process. I didn't know until my consultation, aka right before the surgery happened, that it would take like 2 to 4 weeks to fully recover and that I would have to continuously like rinse out my mouth like for weeks every time after eating. And so that definitely would have encouraged me to get it done out after my vacation trip. So yeah, it was just like one extra thing I had to worry about while I was on vacation. I also didn't realize that the recovery time was so long. I just thought like, oh, a week should be fine. In general, like after a week, I was pretty good, but I still have to flush my mouth all the time after I eat and stuff like that. So I just think that it's still a long recovery process regardless of like what you look like and whether it's healing and stuff like that. This was actually my first surgery ever. Like I had never gotten anesthesia. I had never gotten local anesthesia. I've never had cavities or fillings or any surgery at all. So I was pretty freaked out and a little nervous. Actually a lot nervous because I just did not know what to expect, especially because I did my consultation the day of. I looked online a lot the day of just for other people's wisdom teeth videos, and I saw people preparing like ice packs and stuff like that. Because I waited to research till the day of, I also didn't want to research too far in advance because then I would just freak myself out. But I would just say like to get ice packs ready. Some people put them together in different ways. I tried like putting ice in a plastic Ziploc bag and then putting that in a pair of socks and then tying it around my face. But I always felt like the water somehow leaked or the condensation got through to the socks, and then every time I put the socks and the ice packs back in the freezer, the socks would just be wet and it would just be a weird wet feeling on my face. So in the end I just used ice in Ziploc bags covered with paper towels like the old school way. You could probably use ice packs if you'd like, but I just did that, and unfortunately it's not like a contraption where your hands are free, but I just felt like it was the best for me. I don't know. You can do your own research and figure out what the best ice pack would be for you. I think if I had in advance, I think Amazon sells like these face ice mask thingies, so that's a lot easier if that's something that would be interesting and helpful for you. Because I know myself and I'm prone to like getting nauseous or like super nervous about things, I kept a plastic bag or a paper bag on me at all times, like to my appointment and after that whole first day, just in case I felt nauseous or felt like throwing up at any point. I would also suggest bringing water, like so that like while you're waiting for your appointment, if you get really nervous, you could drink some water. Another tip for before your appointment, my surgeon, and I don't know, it depends on who you have, you may want to ask during your consultation, but you can ask if you can listen to music or like put headphones in during the surgery, because I didn't think about it, but my surgeon offered them to me. He had an old Walkman so I could listen to the radio, and I was just grateful for that, at least, because I think it would have felt so much longer if I didn't have music to listen to or anything like that. You can ask if they allow like headphones or earbuds or anything like that for you to listen to music throughout the surgery, but I definitely think it helps also pass the time and helps you drown out the noise of the actual procedure. I don't know if you're supposed to eat before your surgery or not. I read that you're not supposed to eat for 8 hours prior, and I was just so nervous that I really didn't eat anyway, or didn't want to eat anyway, so I did go into the surgery without eating for over 8 hours. I don't know, you can check during your consultation whether that's needed or not. I think that was mainly like my prep for going into the surgery. For the surgery, I decided to do local anesthesia, which is an anesthesia through the needle, and then laughing gas, which, like, unfortunately does not make you laugh. I was so bummed. There was nothing funny about it. But apparently it keeps you calm, and I was like, yes, sign me up for that, because I need to stay calm. So with the local anesthesia and the laughing gas, that means I'm not being put under completely. I also went in thinking that I was going to get 2 wisdom teeth out, and the surgeon that I had recommended to extract all 4 based on their positions. So I went in thinking I was going to get 2 extracted, and I ended up getting 4, which made me even more nervous. So because I wasn't put under, I could hear sounds, and it was really weird. Like after the anesthesia and stuff like that is put in, I didn't really feel too much pain. It just felt like they were doing stuff in my mouth, but you could hear weird sounds of what they're doing, and things that they're doing feels really weird because your whole mouth is numb, so you're not quite sure what they're doing unless you look. I closed my eyes because I just didn't want to see the tools that they were using. I didn't want to know or see anything, so I just closed my eyes. You can look, but I just couldn't. And yeah, so things felt super weird, but hopefully your surgeon lets the anesthesia kick in so that you don't feel too much pain. Luckily, I didn't feel too much pain. It definitely felt like it was hard for them to get the teeth out. They estimated that it would take like about an hour and 15 minutes, but it ended up taking about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. Luckily, the music helped pass that time faster. After the surgery, they prescribed me some heavy medication, and then they also gave me some ibuprofen. I forget what the heavy medication was, but it was not over the counter. We had to go pick it up at a pharmacy. I watched videos that said the heavy medication makes you super nauseous and throw up all the time, so I stuck with the ibuprofen. First day is the worst. The first day of recovery after the surgery process, it is super painful. Not right away, because you still have the anesthesia kind of numbing your mouth, but once it wears off, ooh, it really hurts. Now, I have had an IUD before for birth control, and that was like one of the worst pains I've ever felt in my abdomen, and it was basically like that, but in my mouth. If you have never felt the pain of an IUD, this might hit you like a ton of bricks, because it is probably one of the most painful things ever, and it's all concentrated in like your mouth and you can't do anything about it. Because I watched videos and I know that the heavy meds made people nauseous like crazy, I decided to opt for the ibuprofen that they gave me at the surgeon. And if they don't give you any, feel free to use some over-the-counter ibuprofen that you might have around your house, or just buy some. I think that's one of the best decisions I made throughout this whole process, because I was not really nauseous at all during my recovery process. And I think it's because I avoided the heavy meds. Your initial reaction to all that pain in your mouth might be to take the heavier medication, but I think I would recommend to just bear through it and use the ibuprofen instead, because I would honestly rather go through a little bit more pain than be super nauseous and throw up. Like, that just seems way miserable. So taking the ibuprofen that way, I was able to sleep throughout the first night. I wasn't nauseous, I wasn't throwing up or anything like that. So that first night I actually slept pretty well considering the pain. Obviously ibuprofen doesn't take away all of the pain, but I recommend like maybe focusing your mind on other things. Like for that first night, I listened to TV while I went to sleep to help like get my mind off of the pain. So recommend doing things like that. Also, ice as much and as soon as possible. Like basically get home and start icing. My surgeon recommended 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So ice for 10 minutes, then break for 10 minutes. I've heard other people in other videos have different time intervals, but that was just what I did. Again, I only had a few hours before I went to sleep that night, but if you do get your surgery done early in the day, I highly recommend doing it throughout the day for as much as you can, because I feel like that will help the swelling. As far as food, I got home starving. I think I was told to wait 2 hours before I could eat post-surgery. So the first things that I had were chicken broth and Odwalla smoothie. And then I had to rinse with salt water. And that first day of recovery, there's like, when you're rinsing your mouth, there's like a lot of blood coming out. It's really gross, but I think that's normal, so it's okay. But yeah, so I basically stayed very like liquidy food for my first day. And I also tried to take the ibuprofen right before I slept so that I could kind of wear throughout the night while I was sleeping. So I think that was a useful tip. Honestly, I didn't wake up to too much pain during the recovery process, which is nice, but I did take ibuprofen here and there, like throughout the day. I found that I had more pain like towards the evenings, like towards like 3 to 6 p.m. There would all of a sudden be a little bit more pain than the rest of the day. So definitely would take ibuprofen then and then right before bed. As far as foods, I'll put a list of foods that I ate for the first few days just to give you some ideas. It was like smoothie or soups, pudding. I definitely got some sweet tooth action during this week. There's a ton of sugar for me. I mean, you could definitely opt for healthier foods, but I took advantage of that. I would say one of the most important things about your recovery is rinsing your mouth with salt water and using the syringe that they give you. Hopefully, I don't know, I got a syringe and it basically is able to shoot water directly in those healing areas so that you can flush out any food particles that get stuck there, because you don't want any food to be sitting there when it's healing. It could cause infections or things like that. So definitely try to flush out your mouth and rinse it out after you eat anything. As for swelling, because I didn't really ice a whole lot the first day, the next morning wasn't too puffy, but I guess day 2 to day 4 post-surgery were puffy. Like my face did really look like a chipmunk, and I did not go to work the next Monday. So I wouldn't say that your face or that you would be completely recovered enough to go to work in like 3 to 4 days. So just keep that in mind. But I definitely wasn't in pain at that point. So I could have, if I needed to go into work, you could take ibuprofen and you could rinse out your mouth after every meal at work, stuff like that. But yeah, I was not looking that cute. The swelling finally went down on like days 4 and days 5 after the surgery. So Yeah, I would definitely recommend icing as much as possible the first day. I think that pretty much sums up my whole wisdom teeth removal experience. If I remember anything, I'll try to put it into the description box below. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. I would love to try to help you out. And I wish you luck if you're getting your wisdom teeth removed anytime soon. Please give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, and please don't forget to subscribe if you have not already, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!